19. The Great Wall of China was built to defend China from its enemies across the country's northern border. It is actually a series of long walls made of stone and earth. Some of the newer parts are built of brick. Parts of it were first built more than 2,000 years ago. Over the centuries, new parts were built and some old parts were ruined and built again. The total length of the walls is nearly 7,000 kilometers. At one time, there were more than 1 million guards on the wall, too.
Around the world. The Great Wall of China is built to defend China from its enemies. The Great Wall of China is built to defend China from its enemies across the country's northern border. It is actually a series of long walls made of stone and earth. Some of the newer parts are built of brick. Parts of it were first built more than 2,000 years ago. Over the century, new parts are built and some older parts were ruined and built again. The total length of the walls is nearly 7,000 kilometers. At one time, more than $1 million on the world too. Hundreds of signal towers around the world. The guards used to these towers communicate about the movement of enemies and to call for help when necessary. Now, much of the Great Wall has been destroyed by wind and weather, as people often take stone from the wall to repair the home and other buildings. In recent years, the Chinese government has made a law to protect the walls. People are no longer allowed to take stone and from the wall. Some sections were maintained so that tourists can visit them. These sections are mainly north of Beijing and many other major tourist centers. Visitors can climb up onto the wall or go around, but walking can be difficult. The wind can be strong and the hard slopes on it. Money from tourists can be used to repair the wall. But an unfortunate result of the tourist trade is a great number of businesses in tourist areas. There are cable cars, shops, fast food restaurants, and crowded parking areas. Many people believe that because the world is so long, they can be seen from the moon. That isn't true. The wider parts of the wall are only 9 meters, and it is mostly the same color as the surrounding. If you are ever on the moon or wanted to see the Great Wall of China, you will have to do the telescope. The Great Wall of China is built to defend China from its enemies across the country's northern border. It is actually a series of long walls made of stone and earth. Hi, good evening. The Great Wall of China is built to defend China from its enemies across the country's northern border. It is actually a series of long walls made of stone and earth. Some of the newer parts are built of brick. Parts of it were first built more than 2,000 years ago. Over the century, new parts are built and some older parts were ruined and built again. The total length of the wall is nearly 7,000 kilometers. At one time, more than $1 million on the world too. Hundreds of signal towers around the world. The guards used to these towers communicate about the movement of enemies and to call for help when necessary. Now, much of the Great Wall has been destroyed by wind and weather, as people often take stone from the wall to repair the home and other buildings. In recent years, the Chinese government has made a law to protect the walls. People are no longer allowed to take stone from the wall. Some sections were maintained so that tourists can visit them. These sections are mainly north of Beijing
only as a major tourist center. Deserts can climb up into the wall or go around, but walking can be difficult. The wind can be strong and the hard slopes on it. Money from tourists can be used to repair the wall, but unfortunately, known as Beijing only as a major tourist center. Deserts can climb up into the wall or go around, but walking can be difficult. The wind can be strong and the hard slopes on it. Money from tourists can be used to repair the wall, but an unfortunate result of the tourist trade is a great number of businesses in tourist area. There are cable cars, shops, fast food restaurants, and crowded parking areas. Many people believe that because the world is so long, they can be seen from the moon. That isn't true. The wider parts of the world are only 9 meters, and it is mostly the same color as you surround it. If you are ever on the moon or you wanted to see the Great Wall of China, you will have to use the telescope.
Where are you right now?
I'm in my house.
Oh, I see.
Let me introduce my room,
Okay.
kitchen, and it's dirty on my table.
All work?
Yeah, I have stereo and second floor.
That's cool.
It's that.
Yeah. So second floor is like you put the bed and where you sleep?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a bed on the bathroom and the toilet on the
On the second
second floor. Yeah.
That's huge.
That's not huge.
The Great Wall of China was built to defend China from its enemies across the London border. It is actually a series of long walls made of stone and earth. Some modern Europe parts are built, but it was first built more than 2,000 years ago. Over the centuries, new parts were built and some old parts near ruin and built again. The total length of the wall is nearly 7,000 kilometers. At one time, there were more than 1 million guards on the wall too. There were hundreds of signal towers around the wall. The guards used these towers to communicate about the movement of enemies and to call for help when necessary. Much of the Great Wall has been destroyed by the wind and weather, and people often take stone from the wall to repair the home and other buildings. In recent years, the Chinese government has made a law to protect the wall. People are no longer allowed to take stone and from the wall. Some sections are maintained. The tourists can visit them. These sections are mainly north of Beijing, one near as a major tourist center. The climb up onto the wall, walk along past it, and walking can be difficult. The wind can be strong, and there are hard slopes on it. Money from tourists can be used to repair the wall, but unfortunately the result of the tourist trade is a great number of businesses in tourist areas. There are cable car and crowded parking areas. Many people believe that because the wall is so long can be seen from the room. That isn't true. The widest parts of the wall is 9 meters, mostly the same color as the earth around it. If you're ever on the moon and wanted to see the Great Wall of China, you will have to use a telescope. Could you explain the timetable to me? I don't understand. The explanation related to information sheet. I see that, but I don't understand words. Could you translate the simple English? Alright. This station is directly from the rest of the table, and the stations around across the top. Just follow the charge from the time. Oh, I get it. So from morning to New York to Boston, they are around once an hour. That's right. How do you feel? That's on the next page. See, the table works the same way. Find your work and drive. Then find Boston on top and for the line. So it's about $80 for a local train and $20 an express. You got it. If on an express you need the reserve sheet, can you help me that? Which do you want? That express gets to Boston to 4 o'clock, the Usual Maple Factory. What day do you want to go? The day after tomorrow. Okay.ないパターン。
Could you explain the timetable to me? I don't understand. The explanation related to information sheet. I see that, but I don't understand words. Could you translate the simple English? Alright. This station is directly from the rest of the table, and the stations around across the top. Just follow the charge from the time. Oh, I get it. So from morning to New York to Boston, they are around once an hour. That's right. How do you feel? That's on the next page. See, the table works the same way. Find your work and drive. Then find Boston on top and for the line. So it's about $80 for a local train and $20 an express. You got it. If on an express you need the reserve sheet, can you help me that? Which do you want? That express gets to Boston to 4 o'clock, the Usual Maple Factory. What day do you want to go? The day after tomorrow. Okay.
Where are you right now?
Could you explain this timetable to me? I don't understand it. The explanation is all written in the information sheet. Oh, I see. But I don't understand the word. Could you translate it into simple English? Alright. The station's trains. The station's trains leave from the region on the left of the table. And the station they arrive later across the top. Could you explain this timetable to me? I don't understand it. The explanation is all written on this information sheet. I see. But I don't understand the word. Could you translate it into simple English? Alright. The station's train. The stations the train leave from are written on the left of the table. The stations the train leave from are written on the left of the table. And the station they arrive at written the station they arrive at written across the top. Just follow the chart to find the time. Just follow the child to find. Just follow the child to find the time. Oh, I got it. I get it. So, if I have a morning train from New York to Boston, there are trains about once an hour. That's right. There are trains about once an hour. How do I figure out the force? How do I figure out the force? That's on the next page. See? How do I figure out? Figure out. How do I figure out? 計算する。How do I figure out the force? That's on the next page. See? This table works the same way. Find New York on the left. Then find Boston to the top and follow the lines. So it's about $80 for a local train and $120 for an express. You got it. If you want express, you will need to reserve a seat. Can you help me do that? Sure. Which one do you want? The 10 o'clock express gets to Boston just before 2 o'clock. The 10 o'clock will get to Boston. That would suit me perfectly. The 10 o'clock express 这种电车。That would suit me perfectly. The 10 o'clock will get to Boston just before 2 o'clock. That would suit me perfectly. What do you want to go? Stay after tomorrow. Okay. Could you explain the timetable to me? I don't understand it. The explanation is all written in the information sheet. I see that, but I don't understand the words. Could you translate in simple English? Alright, this station tries to read from Latin to the table, and the stations arrive at written across the top. Just for the chart on the time. Oh, I get it. So if I want morning train from New York to Boston, that runs about once an hour. That's right. How do I figure to yes, that's on the next page. See, the table works the same way. Find your work on drive. Then find the Boston to stop and follow the line. So it's about $80 for local train and $120 express. You got it? If you want an express, you need to reserve a seat. Can you help me with that? Which train do you want? The train gets to Boston to just before 2 o'clock. That would be sure perfectly. What do you want to go the day tomorrow? Okay. Could you explain the timetable to me? I don't understand. The explanation is already on the information sheet. I see that, but I do not understand the words. Could you translate in simple English? The station trains read from the written of the table, and the stations arrive at the written across the top. Just for the chart point time. Oh, I get it. So if I do the morning train from New York to Boston, they are trained about once an hour. That's right. How do you figure it? How do I? That's on the next page. See, this table works the same way. Find a walk on the right, then find a bus on the top and follow the line. So it's about $80 for local train and $120 an express. You got it? If you want an express, you need to reserve the sheet. Can you help me with that? Which train do you run? That will get to Boston just before 2 o'clock. That would be perfect. Okay. Could you explain the timetable to me? I don't understand. The explanation is all written in the information sheet. I see that I do not understand the words. Could you translate the simple English? Alright. The stations that are read from the table, and the stations they arrived at and across the top. Just follow the chart to find the time. Oh, I get it. So if I want the morning train from New York to Boston, they are trained about once an hour. That's right. How do I figure it first? That's on the next page. See, this table works the same way. Find your work on track, then find the post on the top and follow the line. So it's about $80 from local train and $120 of express. You got it? If you want an express, you need to drive the ship. Can you help me with that? Which route do you want? That express gets to Boston just before 2 o'clock. That should be perfectly. What date do you want to go? The day after tomorrow. Could you explain the timetable? I don't understand. The explanation all written on the information sheet. I see that, but I don't understand the word. Could you translate the details in simple English? Alright. Read from the written of the table, and the station they arrive at and written across the top. Just follow the chart, find the time. Oh, I get it. So if I want the morning train from New York to Boston, they are trained about once an hour. That's right. How do I figure it first? That's on the next page. See, this table works the same way. Find your calendar, then find your Boston on the top and follow the line. So it's about $80 for local train and $120 an express. You got it. If you want an express, you need to reserve a seat. Can you help me with that? Express gets at the Boston just before 2 o'clock. That should be perfectly. That's sweet. What's sweet? Could you explain the timetable to me? The explanation is already on the information sheet. I see that I don't understand what. Could you translate it simply? The stations that trains leave from are written on the left table on the stage arrival that cross the top. Just follow the chart to find the time. Oh, I get it. So if I want morning train from New York to Boston, there are trains about once an hour. That's right. How do I figure out the fares? That's the next page. See, the depth was the same way. Find New York to run the right, then find Boston to the top and follow the line. So it's about $30 for local train and $60 for an express. You got it. If you want the express, you need to reserve a seat. Can you help me with some? Which should do one? The 10 o'clock express gets to Boston just 2 o'clock. That would suit me. The day of tomorrow. Okay. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me. That would suit me. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me perfectly. The 10 o'clock gets to Boston just before 2 o'clock. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me. That would suit me perfectly. That would suit me perfectly. Could you explain this? Could you explain this timetable to me? I don't understand it. The explain is all written on the information sheet. I see. Just but I don't understand the word. Could you translate it into simple English? Could you translate it into simple English? Could you explain it into Could you explain? Could you translate? Could you translate it into simple English? Alright. The station or the train leave from. Alright. The station. The train leave from. The station. Train leave from are written on the stations. The station. The station serve. Trains leave from are written on the left of the table, and the station they arrive at, written across the top. Just follow the chart to find the time. Oh, I get it. So, if I want morning train from New York to Boston, there are trains about once an hour. There are trains about once an hour. Once an hour. That's right. How to figure out fares? Fair. So to find the time. Oh, I get it. So if I want the morning train to Boston, there are trains about once an hour. That's right. How do I figure out the fares? Fares. How do I figure out the fares? How do I figure out the fares? How do I figure out the fares? That's on the next page. How do I figure out the fares? How do I figure out the fares? That's on the next page. See? This table works the same way. Find New York on the left. Then find Boston to the top and follow the line. So it's about $80 for local train and 100. It's about $80 for local train and $120 for the express. You got it. If you want an express, You need to reserve a seat. Can you help me with that? Can you help me with that? Sure. Which train do you want? The 10 express gets to Boston just before 2 o'clock. That would suit me perfectly. That suits me. That suits me perfectly. What do you want to go?